Africa, the second largest and second most populous continent, has 54 countries. The geography of the continent has made it significant for the world since it was discovered by the Western explorers. The continent was colonized and exploited for a long time, and India's role has been significant in raising the voice for independent Africa at a global level. Namaste and welcome to TFI Post. I am your host Shikhar Tripathi. Let's begin with the video report. Before Indian independence, India, being ruled by British, got its voice drowned out, but soon after 1947, India's voice prevailed and the African cause got a lot of support. Even after independence, the fragile economic condition and political instability pulled many countries into the category of failed states. But one thing that sustained the external influence on the continent was its resource richness. On the other hand, India eyed Africa more for humanitarian reason than for economic one. This is evident from the recent military exercise. The Chief of Army Staff of India, General Manoj Pandey, oversaw the successful conclusion of the second edition of the Africa-India Field Training Exercise, which is F-Index 2023. The exercise involved India and 23 African nations and was held from 21st to 29th March 2023 at the Foreign Training Node in Pune. The multinational exercise focused on regional security and stability by addressing challenges related to humanitarian assistance, mine clearance, and United Nations peacekeeping operations. Representatives of various African armies and army chiefs were present at the concluding ceremony of F-Index 2023, which showcased the capabilities and readiness of participating countries' armed forces, and the India was represented by the Sikh, Maratha and Mahar regiments, which demonstrated their skills and expertise during the 10 days drill. India has been actively reaching out to African countries in recent years, and the Africa-India Field Training Exercise is a crucial part of this outreach. The latest edition, F-Index 2023, is the second edition of this important training exercise. The primary objective of this joint exercise is to promote positive military relation between India and African countries. The exercise serves as a platform for participating nations to share their best practices, exchange knowledge and expertise, and enhance their ability to operate together effectively. Evidently, India has long been recognized as a significant contributor of troops to United Nations peacekeeping operations worldwide. The country's army is renowned for its expertise in mine removal operation, making it one of the most respected agencies in this field. Many African countries face the daunting task of dealing with landmines and unexplored ordnance that remains after years of conflicts. The exercise among 23 nations was concluded by Army Chiefs Conclave, which was addressed by Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. He emphasized the need for cooperation between India and African countries in maritime security and countering terrorism and extremism. Enthusiastic about the domestic production of weapons and other military equipment, Rajnath invited African nations to explore Indian defense equipment and technologies. Leaders and representatives from 31 African nations, as well as civil and defense dignitaries, joined Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Pandey at the conclave. India is constantly growing its influence on the continent. While this exercise and conclave are a step towards more firm military relations, economic relations are also becoming stronger. According to the statement of Dr. Jaishankar, India's trade with Africa reached $89.5 billion in the fiscal year 2021 to 2022. In financial year 2020 to 2021, the trade was worth $56 billion. The net increase was around 60% in a single year, which is more than the growth of Chinese trade. Africa's trade with China in the same period jumped to 35%. However, the trade amount was far more than India-Africa trade, with $254 billion. Positive point for the India is that it is one of the top 5 trade destinations for Africa in the world, so it has the opportunity. This was visible in the collaborative attempt by India and Africa to bolster trade relations. In July last year, as many as 40 high-level officials from 17 African countries visited India to beef up commercial relations. Meanwhile, Union Commerce Minister of India Piyush Goyal also emphasized the intention of India to reach a trade pact which could prove beneficial for both India and Africa. Interestingly, India is trading with the majority of African countries on the basis of duty-free tariff preferences, an official scheme of the Government of India by which the products originated in least developed country, which is LDCs, are given preference and are duty-free. This is applicable to 98.2% of the LDC originating commodities. On the global stage, India is currently raising the voice of the Global South, a group of the countries that are less developed than the Global North. This has gained immense respect and support from Africa for New Delhi. India has provided humanitarian support through vaccine, grains, and other pharmaceutical requirements. India and Africa have a historical connection and share a distinctive relationship due to their common colonial past. India is cautious about China's increasing dominance on the continent as Beijing has invested massive amount of money in building infrastructure like roads, bridges, and power installations to gain access to African market and resources. Taking cognizance of that, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi organized a summit in New Delhi in 2015 to enhance India's long-standing ties with African countries. During his speech in the Uganda Parliament in 2018, Modi presented the Kampala Principle, a set of 10 principles that guide India's collaboration with Africa, focusing on promoting economic growth and addressing issues such as terrorism and climate change. Modi asserted that Africa would be top priority for India. Additionally, India has significantly contributed to African humanitarian and educational sector to augment its soft power. So, this exercise and the following Army Chiefs Conclave can be loosely described as another step towards narrowing the gap in the Arabian Sea.